Show 33 going on, 33. Okay, let's go. Good afternoon, and welcome to Outside the Round Table, and I'm your host, H.L. Seiler. Like we do before every show, I like to take this opportunity to take a moment of silence for the over 250,000 people that have died to this pandemic. So can you join me in a moment of silence, please? Thank you very much. Also, I generally give a shout out to first responders, but I want to give a shout out to the first responders, but I also want to tell the first responders that I'm praying for them and that I feel their pain because we have a surge superimposed on another surge. And we got this man going out playing golf. I don't mean figuratively. I mean he literally going out playing golf. I hope I don't get too emotional today. It just seemed to me that it's un-American. 386-516-8030, 516-8031. I guess that's what I want to ask everybody today. Is it un-American? What are you doing? We still don't have a national plan. They're running our first responders and our healthcare people in the ground. It's going to get to the point where hospitals, people dying sitting in chairs in the waiting room. Do we understand that? And I'm just afraid because of the nonchalant attitude of this administration. I'm afraid this thing is going to get, this thing is out of hand. And we still have a national plan. And everybody going around like it's okay. People dying needlessly. A lot of these deaths could have been avoided. But is it me? Or is it un-American for an administration to totally check out on us like this in times of the worst pandemic ever in the history of mankind? Are you kidding me? Great country of ours, America. I know this is what our forefathers wanted for us. This wasn't their intentions. In fact, they wrote a lot of this stuff in the Constitution. But for some reason, the three core equal branches of government is not working, ladies and gentlemen. But we sit around, we do nothing. We sit around, we do nothing. People literally, I don't understand. You know what? If everybody could go see how people die, And I know we got pandemic fatigue. I realize that. I'm experiencing pandemic fatigue myself. But we gotta just keep being diligent in our quest to keep ourselves safe. Not seem like we just sitting ducks. You know, sitting here, I can feel the pain. I can feel the pain of these 500,000 people that died in a country that has dealt with these type of pandemics and epidemics with the style and grace that America is, with all the bright minds and scientists and all stuff we got. How could we allow this man who don't even believe in science to do this to us? We divided as a country. For what? For what? I'm quite sure everybody want to be happy. Isn't that what we all trying to strive for, to be happy? How can we be happy divided like this? How can we? Health should be bipartisan. Health, listen to me. We can be Republicans and we can be Democrats. We can agree and we can disagree. But when it comes to the health of the American people, because we're all Americans and we're all in this together, when it comes to the health of the American people, we should be bipartisan. Would you agree? Yeah, it seems like if it's a blue state or a red state, he intentionally holding back money and funds necessary for us to fight this. And that's what I say, isn't that un-American? Somebody could call in and tell me 386-516-8030, 516-8031. I mean, I don't know if I'm wrong, but doesn't it seem that if anybody was going to be doing something for you and trying to help the country, it should be the President of the United States? I mean, I'm just wondering. If anybody should be the President of the United States, we got the President of the United States going against the people that he's supposed to be looking out for. But I digress. Everybody ready? Everybody ready? Yeah, let's get to it. I want to remind any new listeners that we here at Outside the Roundtable provides a platform in which we stimulate conversation while assimilating information. And we do that in an attempt to find answers and solutions to the problems that affect us all. Plain and simple. That's the whole gist of our show. So in saying that, there's no unwelcome opinion on this show. In fact, that's exactly what I want, a lot of different opinions. So there's no unwelcome opinion on the show because my entire format is designed to create different perspectives because even though you might not agree with me a lot of times, let's face it, you might not. But with my take on the issue, still might be able to find something out of my take to go along with your take, and vice versa. Would you agree? So, Denver Hills 386-516-8031. And like I said, we encourage and stimulate conversation because it allows you to hear other people's opinions on issues in a way you might not have thought of. Huh? Remember what I always said. We might have went to the game. We might have saw the same game. We didn't go the same. We didn't go together. I missed the ride. I got to the game late. I saw the game. I saw the same game you saw. But you saw the game up in them suites in the press box. I was supposed to be going up there with you. But I was late, so I had to watch the game through the gate. And I say that to say this. We saw the same game, but we saw it from different perspectives. We saw it from a different vantage point. Same thing. And this is why I encourage everybody to, no matter how you feel, call in and let everybody know how you really feel about an issue. So, and this is what this show outside the round table encourage all points of view. Because I'm just a facilitator, y'all. I'm just a facilitator. This is a Volusia County show. Well, I take that back because our show's in the Bahamas also, and this is a show that caters to Volusia County because everything that we're addressing with Volusia County residents. So, but you can be viewed around the world because you do realize if you happen to miss the show, yours truly. Simply go to YouTube, or you can go to Vimeo, or you can go to Twitter, or Facebook. But just simply put in, you can go to any one of those sites. If you happen to miss the show at lunchtime, put in outside the round table /33, because this is show 33. And there you go. You got your outside the round table fix. So don't stress. If you miss us, you know each other's got your back. But I want to talk about the seriousness of this virus. I want to get back to talking about this virus. Because I know, like I said, we all got pandemic fatigue. I sure got it. But we must stay vigilant in our quest to live. Huh? Because this pandemic did not need to be this bad. Huh? I mean, do you agree with me or do you disagree? This pandemic did not have to be nowhere near the extreme that it's gone. I just can't believe this administration hasn't done anything to help us fight this pandemic. And that's why I'm asking somebody to call in and answer that question. Is it un-American? Because I think it's criminal. I think it's not only un-American. I think it's criminal. Yeah. I think it's criminal. And I'm sorry, but to me, that's how I feel. Because listen, what he's doing to the people, the great people of this nation, this great country of ours, what he's doing to us, that's making America great. If you think it's making America great, call in and tell me it's making America great. He's out here actually playing golf when American people are here dying. Are you kidding me? If that's not criminal, what is? Like I said, excuse me if I'm a little emotional today, because I've been all night praying to God to help us. Really have. We have completely lost who we are as Americans. We allow a sitting president to literally sit on his hands and not help the American people in the worst pandemic of mankind. Huh? That's not no hyperbole. That's what's going on right now as I speak. I ain't lying. You know, people look at me when I say what I feel. I want to say this to anybody who listen, black people, white people, anybody who listen, I'm going to say this. There is a surge superimposed into another surge. We need a national plan. That sounds like that's. Let me give you an example. We sitting in Daytona, and a firestorm is headed our way from Orlando and Jacksonville and Titusville at the same time. That's what's going on with this pandemic, ladies and gentlemen. That's why it's so important to wear masks. We don't be sitting ducks. And we'll come up with a national plan, we sitting ducks anyway. Huh? We won't come up with a national plan, we sitting ducks anyway. And y'all correct me if I'm wrong. Cause y'all out there, I'm out there. Does it seem to you, or is it just me? The American psyche is shot. We spooked. When it comes to this virus, psychologically as a country, man, we shot. We shot. You got half people scared to death because they know the seriousness of it, and then the other half walk around like they ain't got a care in the world, and they got 9 lives. They ain't got to worry about the one that we got, because they got 9 of them. That's how they acting. Like they got 9 of them. I only got 1, and I'm trying to extend this one as long as I can. I don't know about you. And we spooked as a nation. I'm spooked. I'm gonna be pretty honest with you. I'm spooked. And we should be. We should be. Because this president has left us out there. Huh? He left us out there. He playing God. He don't check that. He didn't even go to the meeting. The first meeting about in months, and he wouldn't even go to the meeting. Yeah, he wouldn't even go to the meeting. So that lets you know where his mindset is. And because we have no leadership, ladies and gentlemen, no one wants ever. But you know what we do have? Y'all know what we do have, right? Come close, I'm gonna whisper. Y'all know what we do have, right? We have each other. We have each other. And as long as we have each other and we stick together and demand that we have a government for the people, by the people, huh? This is why shows such as this one and others like it are so vital to the masses. We underestimate radio, and we underestimate having the proper channels to assimilate information. That's what we miss. Because right-wing radio is a well-paid gig. Progressive radio, you're on your own. So is there any wonder why they control everything? I'm going to share something with you. I'm going to share something with you. I'll give you an example. See, I like to give examples of what I'm talking about. I had a situation that I wasn't going to talk about on the radio because I like to keep my personal life personal. But I want to share something with my listeners. I'm the sole executive producer of this show. I mean, I pay for the show out of my own pocket. And my GoFundMe account been the same. I don't know if I'm doing it right. I keep telling y'all, but it's there. Y'all know where it's at. But there ain't nothing been put in it for months. Huh? Nobody's donated because it's hard out here. People ain't got no work and jobs. So I understand all that. But I keep on keeping on. You know? I keep on keeping on because people don't realize this is what I do. This is what God inspired me to do. But I'm saying this to explain something to my audience about the dynamics of right wing, left wing, progressive. You see what I'm saying? So non-progressive, conservative. I'm finna show you something. I wasn't gonna say anything, but I was offered a job. I was offered to keep my show and be in more, a bunch of more stations and reach a bunch of more people, and everything looked gravy. Everything looked gravy, and I said, well, you know, God bless them. Well, I drive all the way to Jacksonville. They got a contract and they got a check for me. True story. They got a check for me. And I see the check. And I'm like, oh boy, I'm already thinking how I'm going to do the show and what I'm going to do. They want me to do a right-wing talk show about trying to get the black community, get more blacks to go with Donald Trump and the Republicans. True story. True story. And I looked at him. It took me off guard because I was mad because it was my off day. And I looked at him, and that check looked so good, especially when things tight. The check looked so good. But I was insulted because I told him, I said, I said, I got mad, and I said, because I was mad inside. I was mad because I drove all the way to Jacksonville. You could have told me this on the phone. It made it seem like, you know I'm a progressive talk show guy. So what you think? You think I'm for sale? You think I'm for sale where I can start talking about progressive issues and start talking about conservative right-wing issues just like that? I said, I'm not that guy on the white horse. And he didn't know. And they got up and left out. And he was like, the white horse, what are you talking about? I said, do your history, and walked out the door. When I'm saying I wasn't that guy on the white horse, I wasn't that slave on the white horse with the shotgun, ready to shoot any other slave that try to run. How you gonna be a black slave on a horse with a gun trying to stop other slaves from running to freedom? My point being, I do what I do because it's in my heart. Only thing I was mad about, I wasn't even mad at the tribe because I feel I'm good at what I'm doing. And I feel that I got you listening. I was mad that I drove all the way to Jacksonville on my off day. And I like to just chill on my off day. So that's what I was mad about. I thought, I thought it was, I just thought that was something else. The deal was for it to be a right-wing talk show. They wanted me to develop a right-wing talk show in order to garner in the black community. And I told them, are y'all kidding me? Y'all know what I told them. Are you kidding me? I said, I'm not that dude on that white horse. And they were tripping on what was the white horse thing all about. But anyway, I digress. I say this all the time. I do what I do because my heart tells me to. And sometimes, work in progress. Sometimes I make mistakes, but my heart's in the right place. And I want everybody to know my whole hope is to have everybody back. My only hope for our country and our people is to come together and create a society that used to be like it was when I was coming up, that rewards hard work, loyalty, respect, and for us to go back to being the greatest country on earth. Huh? That's what I would like. For us to go back to being the greatest country on earth. We American. We America. And it's America. And what's going on now, to me, is un-American. I don't know about you guys, but it's un-American. And like I was saying earlier, I mean, am I wrong or right? Shouldn't health care be bipartisan? Shouldn't politicians on both sides of the aisle come together when the health and the well-being of the American people is at stake? Will you agree? I don't think it's too much for the greatest country in the world to treat its people like they're the greatest people in the world. Huh? I don't think there's a problem with that. I don't think there should be a problem with that. But I see the food lines. I see middle class people who is serving and helping deliver stuff actually in line to get stuff. That's how bad it got. I see pictures on TV, video on TV of people in cars at food banks, and I mean, it seemed like it was like hundreds of cars. It's making America great. When have we had that? And I gotta say this. I'm looking at what I'm looking at. I'm looking at all the suffering. I'm looking at all the people dying. Listen to me. I'm looking at all the people dying. I'm looking at him playing golf, not giving us a national plan. And it hurts me so bad. 74 million people voted for him, in spite of all that. Huh? That lets you know we as a country, we got work to do. We got to come together. Because if we don't live together, y'all know the phrase. You don't live together, you're going to die together. This experiment called a democracy is working. But the people put it in place. Have to have the intestinal fortitude to do the right thing. It calls for it. What you think about that 386-516-8030? 516-8031? Because you have people out here that's literally dying together. Did y'all guys hear me? You got husbands and wives that are dying together. First pandemic. One died 1 hour, he died the next hour. She died one. All this is going on. People never seeing their loved ones, or people on video saying goodbye. Y'all think it's a game. You're hollering, but you got the right, this right. What about my rights? What about my right to live? You want to get mad because I asked you to put a mask, to wear your mask? So you won't infect me? And see, this is the obfuscation that goes on with this administration from the time he took office. All he's done is obfuscate and create chaos the whole entire time. During this whole entire time, every time he's insinuated himself into a situation, he's exacerbated that situation. I have yet, not one time, to see this man deal with an issue and some positive come out of it. Huh? And some positive. I have yet one time to see that. Him and his sycophants, married men of sycophants, whole intention from day one is to create chaos. Because I told y'all time and time again, can anybody tell me what happened to that $600 billion? That $500 billion, and then that other $100 million that was in that first stimulus plan. What happened to that? The ones, the ones that he fired the inspector generals, got rid of the watchdogs and put in his dogs. That one. That stimulus plan, that one. The one he think he want to create a lot of chaos so he can walk out the door with that money because he fired the one inspector general because he had the audacity to say, I got to report this $5 million going to your son's lettuce farm. Huh? Yeah, $5 million with the Don Jr. lettuce farm. $5 million. A lettuce farm. Got fired. So now imagine, did he put his guy? So now imagine what's going on now. Then Inspector General blew the whistle on Pompeo. Hey, he wants us to, paying for Secret Service to walk the dog and get his wife laundry and all that stuff. We gotta take a look at that. He go to Trump. Trump fire him. So imagine what's going on with all that. See, these people know this man crazy, but all of them getting paid. They making big money. They making big money. And you're dealing with a group of advice people that greed is all they lust for. They ain't studying you. They ain't studying me. All they studying is some money in their pockets. And this is one of the reasons that I espouse to term limits and taking all that dark money out of Washington. And we need to revisit Citizens United. That way you don't have corporations and 35-40% of the population running the rest of us. Huh? Because that's what's happening. And we gotta demand that they take money out of Washington. Then you're gonna have, guess who's gonna be senators and congressmen then? People who actually want to help somebody. That's what you're gonna get, because there ain't gonna be no money in it. If there ain't no money in it, then the people that's gonna be in it for the reason of helping people. You see, that's why you got people like Lindsey Graham and Mitch McConnell. You can't tell me Lindsey Graham and Mitch McConnell ain't got the rig in. See, that's why they holler about rig so much, because that's how they stand in office. Because what you got to understand is, listen, on the street they call it peep game, right? Peep game is when you want to try to, in the boardroom we call that enlightenment. Peep game. What they're trying to do is make money by creating chaos. And if you don't go along with that, they get rid of you. What he tried to do was a soft coup. Let's call it what it is. It was a soft coup. You get rid of the military, top military brass, and then install them with your cronies? That's a coup. The GSA just allowed Biden, the transition team, to do their job to keep us safe. She holding it up. Everybody's sitting around scared to say something. And the only reason they can't pull it off is because the military wasn't going for it. Huh? God is so good. Because guess what? If this man had got another 4 years, and y'all know how he feel about us, black people, y'all think we got it bad? If he had another 4 years, because he already trying to blame, he already tried to disenfranchise us by all these voter suppression rules and all the other shenanigans they were doing. Then he want to come right out and say you don't want to count our votes. I keep telling y'all got a man that's from the 1960s in his mind, with all these antiquated thoughts in his mind. Because this 2020. You don't want nobody to inspire hate. It's enough of that. That ain't what America stands for. Never in my life. I thought in my lifetime that I would witness a coup in America, or an attempted coup. Huh? Let's call it what it was. 1 or 2 people cooperate, and boy, we in trouble. That's why I say God is good. All it took was 1 or 2, 3 people. See, what they try to do that national election like they do the local elections. We know what we're gonna do? We're gonna take a break, and we're gonna be right back.
This is Daytona Station.
Right? Okay, we back. So, we were talking about bipartisan on health issues. So, it doesn't matter to a virus if you're a Democrat or a Republican. It don't matter. And this is why I say we need to be bipartisan. If me and you disagree on something, we can disagree on something, but we can also say, if we share an apartment, we're going to keep the bathroom clean, huh? That's all I'm saying. But anyway, before I forget and go any further, I talked to my mom last night, and she informed me my brother Richard Seiler wasn't coming home. She had told me that people had came out to the house, and he's coming home under the COVID-19 policy. The same COVID-19 policy I was telling you about, 90 No's and Bill Cosby. See, what they did, this man implemented a policy for elderly inmates. Listen to me. Trump implemented a policy with the BOP, Bureau of Prisons, for older inmates, no trouble, and then a camp. A camp. And only people that went home is the people that he intended when he did the policy that he was intending to try to get out of jail. Nobody else is benefited from it. Not that I know of, I could be wrong. They deny, everybody get denied for it. Let me say this to y'all. I don't know if anybody have ever been in a federal prison camp. Cause a lot of y'all want, a lot of us was, we was fortunate enough not to have to deal with this criminal justice system, but a lot of us have. It's just part of life. It's just part of being black in America. Trust me. But I digress. But what I was saying was, the only people that went home was people that was affiliated with Donald Trump. You create a whole policy just to bring home your boys. But they're out here perpetrating the policy like it's going to help somebody. So anyway, my point is this, and if you're a taxpayer, listen to what I'm about to tell you. I've spoken to you about Bill Cosby and Samuel 90 Knowles, a personal close friend of mine. Samuel 90 Knowles is a Bahamian resident. Okay? So I'm talking about those two men, and I'm talking about Rich Seiler. All three are old black men. All three are in federal prison camps. Listen to me. They're in federal prison camps, and they fit the criteria laid out by this administration to come home under home confinement. But how? But somehow they all get denied. Ladies and gentlemen, Bill Cosby and Samuel 90 Knowles are millionaires. So you say, so what that mean? They deserve to go to jail too? You're right. You're right. I don't disagree with you. I agree with you, as a matter of fact. I suffice. Listen. If you ever see a prison camp, a camp is like a BCU campus. That's what a federal prison camp would look like. A BCU camp without the locks on the doors. You might have one guard that come around every now and then just to check on you. But in a federal prison camp, basically you just being housed and fed. No bars. It's just a line. You just can't cross that line. And a lot of them on army bases. So you know they got to be safe. You wouldn't want no dangerous criminal on an army base with no fence, would you? So you know my point being is, if you're a taxpayer like me, the first thing that's going to come to my mind is, why are we paying the housing fee millionaires when they could be under home confinement and they could be made to pay fines, and we could be reaping some money off these guys, and they can do home confinement? That's what they doing in the camps. That's home confinement. Why are we paying the housing fee millionaires? That's not a productive use of our tax dollars, trust me. If you're a millionaire and you violent, and I can understand that. But non-violent, sick and old, don't have operations, eyes and hearts and all that. Let the man go home. Let that man go home back to his country. That's money we could be using. Yeah, but this crumbling infrastructure that you gonna have an infrastructure bill ever since you've been in office and we ain't seen it yet. Just like your health bill. You did 4 years of I have a health bill in two weeks. We have it in front of you in 2 weeks. You said 2 weeks for 4 years. That health care bill. You steady dismantling Obamacare, but you ain't got a plan. You know why you got a plan, ladies and gentlemen? Because he's down with the insurance companies. That's why. He's doing the insurance company bid. One thing about it, if you want to know if somebody really care about you, just check out how they act when you're sick. That's it. Huh? Just check how they act when you're sick. If you got a girl, she all attended to you when you're sick, you know you got a girlfriend. If you got a girl, you sick, she don't want to be bothered with you and all that kind of stuff, and she ain't understand that you got a temperature and you got a fever and all this kind of stuff. It's all about her. They let you know you ain't got yourself about nothing. And that's what he did to us. We dated Trump. This country dated Trump. He said all these good things, and then he mistreated us and abused us. Like an abusive husband. Or an abusive wife. It could go either way. Because he could be one or the other. I don't know if he's a man or a woman myself. But I digress. Anyway. But I just think you got people like Bill Cosby, Nanny Knowles, Rich Siler, all those kind of guys, older black men. I just think we should, as a country, we should get a movement afoot to bring let some of these people go home or do home confinement. If they can't, if you're going, because most of these guys are over sentenced anyway. Because it's the industrial prison complex that we find ourselves dealing with. And 90 been in prison in federal custody since 05, I think it was. 05, 07, so no, it had to be 05. And he already did 7 years in prison when they got him. So you should have gave him credit for that. So that'll make him have over about 21, 22, 23 years. Somewhere around there. You gave him 35 years. The man's 62 years old. Stop it. Stop it. Here you got Donald Trump and all these sycophants that have endangered hundreds and hundreds of lives, thousands of lives. But you worry about locking them up. So if anybody should go on home confinement, it should be the men in those prison camps. Because we paying the house done by the inmates. Why are we doing that anyway? See, all this, I keep telling you, is part of this industrial prison complex program where they're making money off the backs of poor whites, blacks, and browns. And it seems to me that it would be more beneficial to them to bring these people home so these people can be with their family, have some kind of compassion, some kind of empathy. We should let these people go home, at least do home confinement. You allow men to go home and do home confinement that had never even been in prison. These guys got years in prisons, some of them 10 or more. We got to get together and say, let our people go. There's enough violent criminals and enough crime behind them for y'all to be not like, listen, if you could be at a federal prison camp, you need to be going home and do your time. Because that's just like being home doing your time. 90 years of Bahamian citizen. You don't got 21 years out there, man. We could charge these millionaires for their home confinement and make some money to help out. With the infrastructure bill, like I said, that you ain't never did them, all that money could be helping. Instead of spending our hard tax dollars on these frivolous investigations. And you know what, everybody? There needs to be an investigation into that. What law firms were they using all these times when they were doing these $1 million investigations? You can't tell me one getting kickbacks. You investigate nothing. We the taxpayer shouldn't be footing these bills from some old guy who's not a threat. That's not a productive use of our tax dollars. Are you kidding me? So let's get together. Call your congressman. Come on, y'all. I sit on this show and I ask only one thing of you. And that's that I need everybody to get engaged. Huh? I need everybody to get engaged. Help me out here. I promise you. When everybody get engaged, we become that country that our forefathers envisioned for us, huh? Also, too, before I forget, I would like to welcome Chief Jakari Young. And welcome to being the chief. You're welcome to come on the show and tell us, everything about you. We're proud of you. Also, I'm quite sure you're gonna do a good job with that police department down there. Say hi to Miss Sergeant Deschamps. She epitomizes what a police officer should be. So welcome, sir, and you're welcome to come on the show anytime. You're a friend of this show. So, having said that, you guys know if you want to talk to me, hit me up at outsidetheroundtable@gmail.com. And I love everybody, man. I'm just hoping that we can heal. I just want everybody to be safe. And I just want a world that's fair for everybody. So having said that, it's almost time for y'all to get back to work. Lunch break almost over. So until next week, at Outside the Round Table, it's HL Silent. I love everybody. I'm out.